Hello everybody and welcome to our Nolan Business Solutions NetSuite Release 2015-1 webinar. I'm going to take you through just 4 of the highlights of the 2015-1 release, and actually one of them isn't even part of the 2015-1 release, it's just something that's been released after 2015-1 which I'd like to include. Let's take a look at the first slide of my presentation. These are the highlights. We have the new advanced PDF HTML editor. It already existed in the system, but there are new tools and new features available, and it's no longer in beta mode, so it is supported fully by NetSuite now. Secondly, we'll be looking at the new marketing campaign wizard. This wasn't released as part of the 2015-1 release, but it has been released since, and it's actually it's a good addition and worthwhile using if you are using the marketing campaigns, specifically the email portion of the marketing campaigns. Thirdly, we can look at the new email template editor. This is a new feature. We've actually taken the existing templates that exist within the system, and they are no longer editable until they're updated to this new style, this new format. And finally, we'll be looking at NetSuite for Android. Maybe some people who've connected would have expected to talk about the new customized GL posting, but I think we're going to explore that maybe in a separate webinar. So I'm not going to talk about that today. So first of all, the new advanced PDF HTML editor, as I said before, it's already existed in the system for some time. Myself, I've been using it for over a year, but it's actually gone into a new stage. There are new features that are available. You now again have gone back to a situation where you can switch between the HTML that you've entered and you've coded yourself and the visual editor, which means that as you're entering your HTML, you can continually update and make sure that you're doing the right thing. Because what we found in the past, what I've personally found in the past, is you could spend an hour doing some work, you run it over into the purchase order, you print off the purchase order, and it looks entirely different to how you imagined, and just because of 1 or 2 numbers that you put in the wrong place. Whereas now being able to switch backwards and forwards, it means that you can continually check that you're doing it right. Now, this was actually something that was in the editor, I believe, maybe 6 months ago, 4 months ago, and they took it out. And they took it out at the point when they had these 2 modes, the visual editor mode and the HTML mode, and they put it back in, which is absolutely fantastic news. Secondly, the HTML editor allows you to use a complete control of a PDF document design. So if you've ever seen a website built in HTML, or definitely one of the more modern HTML websites, you really can do anything. It's based essentially on tables, but the customization level is immense. There's nothing really that you can't do. We're going to look at the inbuilt example that comes with NetSuite, and we're going to customize it very slightly together, make some changes, and then see that reflected in a purchase order. And the third point I've put on this slide is a reminder. So if you're using these advanced PDF HTML editors, you use the same HTML, maybe the same table for your header level, your footer level, and with using the same CSS style, so the style sheet again and again through all of your templates, your invoice template, sales order template, purchase order template, you can maintain that same level of customization and the same design features through all of your documentation, which looks very professional. If I switch now to NetSuite, we're going to use our, apologies, it's to NetSuite, we're going to use this demo account which I've set up. Same demo account that I use for a few things. You may see some things in here which aren't standard to NetSuite, but that's absolutely fine. We're going to navigate to customization. We're going to go to forms and advanced PDF HTML templates in a new tab. I'm also going to, on the left-hand side, go to my transactions, my purchases. I'm going to look at my purchase orders. I'm going to open up this purchase order, this Hamburg Design GmbH purchase order. I'm also going to, in the advanced HTML, PDF HTML templates section, go down to my custom purchase order, which I've created earlier. This is exactly the same as the standard one, but I know that this is set up to be used on my purchase order when I print it. So we come in, this is going straight into the source code, so you can see just the HTML. It's fairly straightforward. This is, as I've said before, an inbuilt layout that comes with NetSuite. And maybe if you have no experience with HTML, you won't really see where this is going. But this is what's in the background. This is how the system designs the template for your documents. If we go to the purchase order, you can see it's just a single line, fairly simple purchase order for £900. And if I click the print button, it prints using that editor and looks like this. Now it's a basic design a tiny bit ugly, if I'm honest, but that's fine for the demo. What I'm now going to do is go to my PDF HTML editor, change from the source code mode to the visual editor mode, and click to go through this disclaimer that says that it's a new feature and it may not always look exactly the same. And we can see that this is what our template looks like. Back to the purchase order, we can see that it mirrors almost exactly what the visual editor says. So there's a few things I can do here. I can add some words. I can type in. I could add maybe a new field, a new section. But really, what I like to do is use the source code. There are a few extra functions up here, so I can add it directly an image or a new table. I could type in some words. So if I wanted it to say, so whereas at the moment it says purchase order, I could say whatever I like. I could say a company. Just a word, that's absolutely fine. It's a text, anything. And I go back to the source code, go through the disclaimer one more time, and I can see that actually it's reflected straight away in the HTML that I have here. So now let's make a change to the purchase order. If I go down, I want to change my horizontal line here, which is grey, to a red color. I mean, that's a fairly simple request. So I'm going to change the color using the HTML color code here and here. Save this. It's a tiny change. And print off my purchase order for a second time. And we'll see that the line has changed to red. Now that's a tiny change, but it is that straightforward. If you have some kind of understanding of HTML or you've used it in the past, or you know somebody who does use HTML, then they can help you, and then they can actually customize your purchase order fully. You'll also notice that the company that I had written before, the title of the document up here is reflected as well. So in order to use the advanced HTML editor, you need to go to your setup company enable features, or with the setup manager you can search for it on the left-hand side to turn on the advanced PDF editor. And also if we customize a form, in the same way you customize any form, you need to select which type of printing we're going to use. So basic, using the legacy printing layouts, or alternatively using the advanced option. And here we change which form we're using for the PDF HTML print, so when you're printing it onto a document, or when it's attached to an email, and you can have a separate form for either. All contained within your one purchase order form. So this is your NetSuite screen form, if you like, your purchase order form, and then your print form and your email form. So if you have any more questions about the advanced PDF HTML editor, then by all means, please get in contact after the webinar, and we can explore that further. Secondly, if I go back to my presentation, we're going to talk about the new NetSuite Campaign Assistant Suite app. So, as I had mentioned before, this was not part of 2015-1, but it's a new feature that has come in since, and it's actually pretty fantastic. So it's a bundle which can be installed. So if you have access to the marketing campaigns within NetSuite, you will also have access to the Suite bundle as well. It's a free bundle. So if I go to Setup, Customization, Suite Bundler, Search and Install Bundles. And I can find it here. So the code is 58023, but alternatively, the code is 58023, but alternatively I can search for Campaign Assistant. This is the Suite tab you'll need to install. So just to recap, that's Customization, Suite Bundler, Search and Install Bundles, and then you can put in either the code 58023 or search for Campaign Assistant, and click on this and follow the instructions to install it. I would demonstrate that now, but I already have it installed. So I'm going to go straight away to Lists, Marketing, and Create Email Campaigns. So perhaps some of you are familiar with the marketing campaigns in NetSuite and how to set them up, but this really takes you through step by step. So what we'll do is we'll open this up together and see the options that we have. So each section of the campaign assistant is almost like a different section on the record itself that you're presented with at the end. campaign record. And there's some interesting help information just up here which can be clicked on to be navigated straight through to the NetSuite help documentation. So you can give it a title. We can go through our standard process of putting in costs, our expected revenue, which are all used in our calculations, start date, end date. And in this example, I'm just going to call it campaign 5. I'm not going to give it any more information than I need to here. I'm going to give it a campaign ID. Okay. So next we have to select the target group. So who it is that we're going to target our campaign on. If you have any experience with NetSuite saved search features, the groups are created via saved searches. So we can either take a saved search that already looks for contacts or customers, or maybe you want to have a campaign against your producers, your vendors. You create a saved search that lists out for you the producers that you want to use. Alternatively, you can create a new saved search from here. A new dynamic target group is called, and that would mean that if your group was, for instance, customers, and you had a saved search that identified them, let's say in this case was let's use vendors as an example. We could use this existing search that says the account for the vendor is this, and this, subsidiary of these, and what that would allow us to do is in the future, if new vendors meet those same criteria, they will then be included in the group. So you may have a marketing campaign that says all vendors in the UK. You make a group that just says vendors in the UK. A new vendor comes in, they're in France, they won't be included in the group. A new vendor comes in from the UK, they will be included in the group, and the campaign will pick them up, scoop them up, and continue to send the information to them. Alternatively, we can have a static target group, and then we can just enter the names ourselves individually. If we keep clicking next through the process, it will take us through the more familiar screen. So we'll choose the email template that we're going to use for the campaign, the time at which the emails will be sent out, so maybe 11 o'clock in the morning at UK time, or maybe a different time depending on where your customers are. And at the end, we get the option to review the campaign. I'm conscious that we're a little tight for time, so I won't go through every single step, but it's worth a look. And if you have any familiarity at all with the campaigns in NetSuite, it's definitely worth using the campaign assistant to just smooth out that process and make sure that everything goes in sequentially. Third item I'd like to look at is the new email templates and editor. So much in the same way as the PDFs have a new updated editor, new updated templating, the email templates have got an update as well. So let's take a look at some of these. So if you go to Documents, Templates, and Email Templates, exactly the same place as they've always been, we can see a selection here of templates in the system. Now what you'll notice is you're no longer able to edit some of your existing templates, and this may cause some concern, but it's just a small step where you now have to update them to the new system before you can edit it. So let's take an example. Let's take our collections notice, first past due. It's an email which is sent out. This is how it looked previously, and it was rather difficult to navigate. But now if we convert to scriptable up here in the top left, and we choose a record type, so in this case these are sent to our customers, so they're our entities. And give it some time, we'll be able to then use this in the new editor and change it as we wish. So just like always, we have a name for the template which we've created, the record type, so where the template is looking for the data that's linked onto the template itself. We have a subject which you'll be using your email. We can attach a file or use a file for the template, sorry, or we can use the text editor. So again, we have two options here. We have the visual editor, and I can do pretty much what I like here. I can add pictures. I can change the fonts. I could change the first paragraph to be in italics, maybe bold as well. But alternatively, I can go to the source button here and actually see the same information displayed as HTML. So using my HTML skills, I can change how the template looks and actually further manipulate the design to make it look exactly how I'd like it to. Another great feature of this is that I can actually add information from the entity record that I'm looking at. So if you remember, we're looking at the entity record. So I can go into one of my sections here. So just any part of this section. So just in this section here, just as an example, I'm going to add a field. So I can just add from the entity or any of these. Oh, sorry, I just took some time to load there. Here we go. If I go to customer, I can add in my customer's company name, or I could add in my customer's currency, or any information that's stored on that customer record can be inserted directly into my HTML template, which is absolutely fantastic if I want to take some very specific information onto an email which is going to be sent out to multiple people, multiple customers or multiple vendors. It could say, take the primary contact from the customer and put their name at the top of my email. I could take the phone number for my business and put that in the footer. And then if I update the phone number in NetSuite for my business, that will be updated on the email template. So you don't have to continually update your templates. I mean, there are 100 uses for this sort of merging feature. Okay. Finally, I'm going to highlight the exciting new NetSuite for Android app. So many of you may be familiar with the iPhone app, which is fairly new. It's been updated recently, and it's a lot stronger than it has been in the past. One of the things I'll talk a lot about if you ever hear a demo for the iPhone app is the ability to enter expense reports while you're on the move. So you write it in just like you would normally. You actually have the ability to take a photograph on your mobile phone and attach that photograph directly to the expense claim in NetSuite. There are a couple of features which Android have, which the iPhone doesn't. For instance, you have an offline connectivity feature, or untethered record access, it calls it, where if you're online, you can download certain sets of information and then access this information without any connection to NetSuite at all. For instance, if you're going to visit a company and you know they're out in the middle of the countryside where the internet connection isn't great, you can download all of their company information stored in NetSuite and then access that without an internet connection via the NetSuite app. So you can access the contact information if you need their phone number, or you can access their company information directly to find their address if you need to find a postcode or you need to find where you're traveling to. So that's one of the key features that NetSuite for Android has. And also, if you're not familiar with the iPhone app, there are many more things that it can do. I believe we have a webinar coming up shortly which will focus on all of the features of NetSuite for iPhone, many of which are reflected in the NetSuite for Android app. And finally, the ability to approve orders and make actions while you're on the move. So, I mean, that's so convenient for a manager who's out on the road. They don't want to have to worry about phoning people up or logging into NetSuite on their laptop to approve orders which are clearly acceptable. They actually can do it now from their mobile phone. So maybe they're on the train, or maybe they're in a coffee shop. Unfortunately, I don't actually have an Android phone on me, so I can't do any kind of live demonstration. But it is an exciting area at the moment for NetSuite, going onto this mobile platform and actually producing products which are actually very good looking, possibly in some ways even better looking than the web interface you're used to on your computer. So if anyone has any further questions, please get in contact with us. You can go to nolanbusinesssolutions.com, our website, or email lvosser@nolanbusinesssolutions.com. And our phone number is on this final slide as well. And also, if you are interested and you send us an email, we can send you all of the slides and all of the information from our presentation today. Thank you very much for attending, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon.